Hello, welcome to episode number 528 of the TEW Time 2020 Challenge Run. As you can see, I've already started the show because I only just noticed now that I didn't click hit recording. So yeah, we're going to jump straight into the action tonight. Anyway, as I was saying here, Swerve comes out to open the show, and he's talking, Sami Zayn doubted him. He was going to, beat him at Payback and become World Heavyweight Champion. And Ilya Dragunov at WrestleMania, but Swerve has proven anybody wrong, because they all looked at Swerve as a paper champion because, how he won it, but he's proven time and time again. And he's going to prove that at the expense of whether it's Bobby Lashley or the hometown hero Drew McIntyre. So not really, just a little bit like just a hype promo for the opening match. Didn't really miss a lot, but thankfully I noticed it now rather than at the end. Because that's never happened before, I've never missed an episode out with the recording, so yeah. Anyway, we move into the opening match of the show, which is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Winner goes to Clash at the Castle. We get an 85 rated match, and Drew and Bobby, they're having their match. They've had plenty of matches in real life, they had one at WrestleMania, so if you want to place that in here, you can. But the finish comes... the Hurt Business are out of ringside with Bobby. MVP's out there, Damon Kemp, Ronnie Hughes, when they're jumped by the Dragon's Dojo. Daniel Bryan, Pete Dunne, Miles Bourne, and then the trio champions of Dante Rios, Jonathan Gresham, and Oney Lorcan. And then Daniel Bryan does hit Bobby Lashley as well. And Drew McIntyre uses this distraction to pin Lashley with a Claymore to punch his ticket to Glasgow. 92 for Drew, 78 for Bobby. So 15-25, Drew McIntyre wins with a Claymore, and he will be heading to... In a result I'm sure surprises absolutely nobody. Drew McIntyre will be going to Glasgow, Scotland to wrestle Swerve Scott for the World Heavyweight Championship. But there's a little bit of fuckery around this because, Daniel Bryan and Bobby Lashley, their sort of thing sort of cost Bobby, but Bobby didn't lose this fair and square. And we know, based on the Dominic Mysterio stuff on Raw, that, you're normally entitled to another shot if you get screwed out of a title opportunity. And then, we continue the fight after the match. The entire Dragon's Dojo gets into the ring. They maul Bobby 6-on-1. Then when the rest of the Hurt Business get up, Damon Kim and Ronnie Hughes do charge in, There's 2 of them and 6 of the Daniel Bryan guys. But the 2 guys are probably, the size of 2 different Bryan guys. So, they're basically even on numbers. So Damon Kim and Ronnie Hughes do try and help even the odds. In the end, the numbers game does eventually get them, though. But Drew McIntyre, he gets to his feet, sort of watches what's going on. And he sees the Dragon's Dojo sort of attacking Bobby Lashley, and he just sort of, puts his hands up and leaves the ring. He's like, hey, this is none of my business. I've got my shot. And he just walks back up the ramp as Daniel Bryan and co. continue to lay the assault on the Hurt Business in the ring. Then cut back. Grayson Waller and Aaliyah are backstage. Last week, we didn't really go the way we wanted it to. You should have beaten that bum Zelina Vega. The fact that Zelina Vega got a win, she's going to walk around it like she's hot shit right now, lad. But there's only one hot piece of ass here on SmackDown. It ain't Zelina Vega, it's you, babe. And he goes, babe. And then Otis walks in. He goes, hey. He goes, hey, you fat oaf. I thought I told you last week, get lost out here. He goes, I need your help. I need you to teach me your game. And he goes, game? I don't have a game, lad. Ladies love me because I'm Grayson Waller. My game wouldn't work on you because you're odish or ugly. You haven't got it like I've got it. Now get lost. And he turns around and Ilya Dragunov's there staring at him. And he goes, Grayson, you sure think a lot of yourself, don't you? What you just did to Otis right now, that was quite rude. Some would call it bullying. And I don't like rude bullies. Because what are you going to do about it, lad, huh? He slaps Ilya Dragunov in the face. And Ilya just stares back at him and he goes, oh, you'll regret that. And he walks off. And even Aaliyah's all looking confused. What? As soon as Grayson Waller slaps Ilya in the face, she looks shocked. She's got a comically wide open mouth, looking in shock at it, knowing that Waller has just fucked up, slapping the Mad Dragon in the face. So yeah, he's off to go speak to Adam Pearce about a match between him and Grayson Waller later on tonight. We then cut back Drew McIntyre's with Kayla Braxton. She says, Drew, congratulations, you picked up that win in the opening match here tonight. That means you are headed to Scotland, you are headed to Glasgow, you are headed for the World Heavyweight Championship clash with Swerve Scott. But, I just want to get your thoughts on Bobby Sore out there, because, Daniel Bryan and Bobby goes, I don't care about Daniel Bryan and Bobby Lashley and their little issue, Kayla. I care about my problems and my issues, my goals, and my goal has been remained the same ever since I came over here to SmackDown, and let's get back to the top. And Swerve, he talked a big game, talking about my country, my backyard, how he's going to walk into my backyard and break my dreams, because he's not going to do any such thing, because I'm going to walk in to Scotland the same way I walked into the first Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. I'm going to boot the World Heavyweight Champion in the face, and I'm going to claim my championship. And Swerve does walk up and goes, Drew, Bobby's a threat. But, I always knew you had it in you. I knew you had what it takes to get this title opportunity, Drew. And I'm really happy you did. Because it's going to mean also more when I overcome you to keep a hold of this championship in your home country. I've made a lot of enemies in my career here in WWE. I can add an entire nation to my list. He walks off, goes, yeah, you better walk away. 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks left of that title, Swerve. Then it's coming home with me. Then cut back to the Hurt Business locker room. Bobby Lashley's punching a hole through the wall. He's irritated. He goes, that right there is an intimidating sight. The almighty Bobby Lashley. Frustrated beyond belief. Frustrated to a point where even walls and stable objects can't keep the almighty Bobby Lashley at bay, because you see, the almighty, he should be the one heading to Glasgow, heading to Clash at the Castle. He should be the one wrestling Swerve Scott, but he's not. And he's not because Daniel Bryan and his little group of cronies decided to get involved in Hurt Business, when last week, the primetime Ronnie Hughes and the Lethal Weapon, Damon Kemp, they took their aim at those tag team championships, and now Daniel Bryan seems to think it's a Hurt Business problem. Now listen here, you two being champions is one thing. You having Damon Kemp and Ronnie Hughes on your back, that's one thing. But now, you've not only made an enemy out of me, you not only made an enemy out of Damon Kemp and out of Ronnie Hughes, but you've made an enemy out of a pissed off, almighty Bobby Lashley. And next week, Bryan, if you've got the balls to show up and step into the ring with the almighty Bobby Lashley, we can settle things there. 90 rated tag team match, let's fucking go. Banger here. So these are, we announced that Andrade and Angel Garza will be in action this week, after they met with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis in their locker room earlier, last week even. And their opponents are the Cyclone, Ricochet and Bronson Reed. A perennial upper tier tag team that is either in the title picture or not doing anything. So, because I've been completely open about that before, I don't want to keep beating them because I do consider them one of my top teams. But I've not done a very good job of having non-title tag team stories in recent months. So yeah, they're here as well. And they do defeat Angel Garza and Andrade. Bronson Reed pins Angel Garza with the Tsunami in 13:56. 95 for Ricochet, 92 for Bronson, 88 for Angel, and 90 for Andrade. So their big debut here on SmackDown it kind of sort of went like Kyrie's last week. They hyped up their debut here on SmackDown. It didn't go the way they were hoping it would. But yeah, the Cyclone, a threat to any tag team, and probably almost certainly future contenders for the tag team championships, whether it's the Hurt Business or Daniel Bryan and Pete Dunne or anybody. They get a Chase U segment. Andre Chase and Keith Lee, they're delegating stuff, because next week, I believe, it's either next week or the week after, I'm waiting for a contract, to be completely blunt. but I think it's next week, we'll host the, Summer School Open Invitational where, students from around the world can come visit and see what Chase University is all about. And they're going to take on some summer recruits for summer school and all that shit. And then, he's already sent Shane Reynolds, and, I guess Bodie. If the memo got to Bodie, because Bodie's been MIA since the D'Angelo family beat him up. But he did send the message to Bodie. And then, he's talking to Keith. He's giving Keith the instructions to set up, the presentation and shit. And then Keith does leave. But the girls are all still in here. And then Thea goes, "You want to see us, Mr. Chase?" He goes, "Girls, okay. What it isn't that I don't want you girls at the open day next week. It's that I need you behind here tonight to do something for the good of Chase University." And Thea goes, "Yeah, we love that, Mr. Chase. What's it all about?" So basically, myself and Keith, Shane's already off, setting up the stand and everything. We need, to capture the greatest moments of Chase University students. And Thea's like, "Well, what do we got?" He goes, "Well, me and Keith and Shane, we won at WrestleMania." And then he goes, "Great, that'll be great footage." And Chase goes, "Yeah, for guys. We need to prove that the ladies of Chase University, they can get it done. They can kick some ass just like we can." And then Thea goes, oh, we can kick some ass, Mr. Chase. We can kick some ass." He goes, "Great. Well, what's happened is I've signed you up tonight for an 8-woman tag team match. I haven't heard back who you're facing yet. But you go out there tonight, you can pick up some big moments, and we can feature you on the Chase U highlight reel and prove that, Chase U's women can get it done as well." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll look forward to it, Mr. Chase. We'll do the university proud. Chase U, Chase U, Chase U." So yeah, Chase U don't really have. I think they might have footage of Thea pinning Bailey a year and a half ago on SmackDown, but other than that, there's nothing really substantial for the women of Chase U to put on their highlight package to advertise the university to new students. So tonight they'll be an 8-woman tag team match against 4 women we don't know the identities of yet. Then get a quick backstage interaction. Candice LeRae walks into Dakota's locker room. Goes, "Hey, you good?" He goes, "Yeah, as good as I'll ever be." Candice goes, "Listen, I just wanted to stop by, before the match tonight and say that I get it. I get you and Tegan, you haven't seen eye to eye in nearly 5 years. You probably never will again. But like I said, like Piper said, we are on the same team here. We got this far because we were so good together. I just want to make sure that, tonight in this main event, we'll all be good, right?" And Dakota's like, "Yeah, I plan on it. Why?" She says, "I don't know, it's just, I saw what happened at the end of the show last week. And I can't help but feel like we may be complacent now, but this thing with Cammy and Queendom, it's never going to be over. And with 4 of them looking united and God knows where Rio's at, we need to stick together. So I can't have you and Tegan, ripping each other's heads off." Goes, "Candice, it'll be fine. Relax, girl. Come on." Then get a quick backstage, earlier today video of Shayna Baszler and Carmella goes, last week on SmackDown, I arrived on the Blue Brand. For the first time I've been on SmackDown in my entire career, and I proved that I belong at the top by beating Kairi. So Kairi Sane had this great package how she was going to become the reborn Private Princess. One of my greatest rivals of my WWE career, and I beat her, I tapped her out. And Carmella goes, "That's why Shayna is going to get to the top here on SmackDown." And then Zelina walks and goes, "Well, that's funny because I also won last week. You don't see me coming out here bragging about it. Because, when you're me, you expect to win. But, when you're Carmella and you've been reduced to a mouthy cheerleader to the more superior, more dominant tag team partner, I can understand why you want to come out here and run your little yapper." And Shayna goes, "You're going to keep talking like that. Carmella will prove she's more than just that tonight." And so he goes, "Oh, will she?" And Mella's like, yeah, I will." And that leads into the match, Carmella against Zelina Vega. Gets a fucking 80. Jesus Christ. Zelina Vega is like, she's scoring really well. And I know the result here sort of doesn't go along with it, but she is the one here with more future plans than Carmella. Which is probably why I gave Carmella the win, you know. Now, the reason I gave Carmella the win is because, you know, Shayna has been doing single stuff. You know, she got a title match recently. Shayna normally gets all the pins when I do tag team matches. When I do tag team matches that they lose, it's normally Carmella who takes the pins. I wanted to give her just a win to prove that she can still get wins on her own. Yeah, but it was by interference by Shayna, but, you know, it was a singles win for Carmella. 62 for Carmella, 77 for Zelina. And yeah, but Zelina Vega did come up short here tonight, but she was screwed by interference from Shayna, so, you know, she does have an excuse. We then get the reverse of the other promo that we saw from Dakota and Candice. Piper Niven walks into Tegan Knox's locker room. She goes, "Hey Tegan, you know, I was just speaking to Candice." And Tegan goes, "Save it. I already know what you're going to say." And Piper's like, "And?" Tegan goes, "I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. I'd love to tell you that the answer is yes. I will. We will stay on the same page. But, you know, even after tonight, they're coming for our championships. You don't think that that's a little bit suspicious?" Piper goes, "Well, they're, you know, championship caliber wrestlers too. Why shouldn't they get a shot at the tag team championships?" Tegan goes, "Look, I know that she's the reason we're here. If it wasn't for her, we'd still be, you know, under Io's rule. I'm just saying. That, you know, she did betray her friends multiple times before. I'd know because I was one of them. But we'll see. I truly want to believe that she's changed for the better. And tonight, we'll have our answer." Kayla Braxton then interviewed with Sami Zayn in his locker room. She goes, "Sami, it's been a very interesting 2 weeks for you. You know, 2 weeks ago you stood in this ring, you sat down with me and you said that, you know, you were, as a former WWE champion, you still feel like you've let the fans down for your reign of champion ending so soon, and now you're looking to repay, but then you came out short against Swerve, and now you've changed target, you know. You've staked a claim for the United States Championship, you know. So what's going on in that head?" And Kayla goes, Sammy goes, "You basically just, you know, relayed everything to me, Kayla. I've had a lot of emotions from failure to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. I went through every single stage of grief there is to go through after that match. I blamed myself. Hell, for a brief second, I even blamed the people and thought, are they still by my side? But that was stupid of me, Kayla, because of course they were. They were by my side when I won the WWE Championship all those years ago. They were by my side when I lost after just a month. So, what does the future hold for Sami Zayn? I said last week, there's one championship here in WWE I'm yet to hold, and that's the United States Championship. And if I can hold that championship, I can taste that success, I can remind myself that I can be a champion, then who knows? Maybe one day, Sami Zayn will be world champion again. And all the credit to Swerve, he's been a hell of a champion. Best of luck for Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. But one day, Kayla, that'll be me, back where I belong. Then Neville walks into frame. He goes, "Ha! What a joke. You say you want to be United States Champion, but you're already talking about what's going to happen after you've been United States Champion. You know what I want to talk about, Sammy? I want to talk about what's next for me as I reign as United States Champion. I couldn't give a damn about Swerve. I couldn't give a damn about Cody Rhodes or any of these jokers carrying any championship that doesn't belong to the king. Because as I'm the king, whatever championship I hold, that's the top prize in this industry, Sammy. You'd know. Because all those years ago, you captured your first championship, and who did you beat to win that, Sammy? Me. You took my throne. And I've been waiting 10 long years to get my revenge. So if you want to come for the king of the United States. You want to come for my crown, for my throne, once again. You best be prepared to be brutalized by Neville. And he walks off. And Sammy just laughs and goes, he's always a joy, isn't he? Isn't he, Kayla? You know? Such a joy. And he does sort of like start smiling and just stare at where Neville walked off to. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Ilya Dragunov does it again. He defeats Grayson Waller with an H-bomb in 11:24. 72 for Grayson Waller, 95 for Ilya. They've got great chemistry, so, you know, banger. But, yeah, Ilya celebrates his win over Grayson Waller. After the match, though, he's once again jumped by Baron Corbin. From last week, you know, Corbin attacked him after their hardcore match on the Mick Foley show. And Grayson Waller does eventually get to his feet. He sees Baron Corbin attacking Ilya Dragunov, and he joins in on the attack. And then Corbin and Grayson Waller, they team up. They're laying waste to Ilya Dragunov. When Randy Orton rushes out once again, he storms into the ring. He spins Grayson Waller around. He RKOs Grayson Waller. Corbin then turns his attention to Randy. Corbin also gets RKO'd. And Randy helps Ilya Dragunov to his feet once again. And like as he pulls into his feet, like he stares in his eyes and Ilya just stares back. Randy again just gives him a nod of respect and leaves the ring. We then get a quick segment. A frustrated Zelina Vega opens the locker room door. She storms in and just takes a seat on a chair, holds her head in her hands and goes, I can't believe, you know, Carmella, of all people, Carmella. And she goes, hey, I guess it's alright because, you know, we all lost tonight. Then the camera pans across and Andrade and Angel Garza are sat there, also looking defeated. And so he goes, there was once a time where we were the fastest rising stars here in the entire company. And I say it's time to get back there. We're going to get another quick backstage segment. Randy Orton's walking through the hallway. Ilya Dragunov walks up to him and goes, Randy, why do you keep doing this? Okay, what's your end goal here, you know? And Randy goes, relax, I know what you're thinking, you know, you can't trust me. I've got a history, you know, of stabbing people in the back, you can't trust me. But Ilya, at this stage of my career, it takes a lot to impress me, kid. And a payback when you beat me in that match, you impressed the hell out of me. So if you need an ally next week, we got Grayson Waller and Baron Corbin on our ass. Next week, you and I, we're gonna team up. And we're gonna put them two assholes down. Together. And then Ilya sort of just nods his head and goes, I'll be there. So yeah, Randy Orton and Ilya Dragunov will team up on next week's episode of SmackDown to face Grayson Waller and Baron Corbin in tag team action. Chase U are in the ring. The Chase U girls. Thea, Haley, Hams, Morgan. You know, because they signed that open contract to an 8-woman tag team match tonight. And who are they going to face?
Bow down to the queens.
Queendom come out. They get an elaborate new entrance, you know, Cammy, Julia, Utami, Asuka, and the new member Yoko Uehara, who joined last week. So they're the 4 women in question that are going to be facing Chase U, and something tells me that Andre Chase might not be getting that footage for Chase University unless, you know, it's sign up here for a beating, because they're in a 77 rated match. Queendom do defeat the Chase U girls. Yoko Uehara gets the pin. She hits the Micah cutter. I guess Yoko cutter. Or Yo cutter, I guess. In 12:24. 78 for Utami, who actually scored the lowest out of all of these Queendom girls. Okay. 81 for Yoko, 84 for Julia, 85 for Asuka, 59 for Morgan, 76 for Hams, 54 for Haley, and a 50 for Thea. Those are some very interesting scores. Like, because Morgan normally scores the 70s and Hams is normally in the 50s, but they swapped. Utami normally gets more higher than a 78. Thea normally scores more than Haley. Like, okay, that's just a very interesting... I don't know what happened here. These ratings are sort of all over the place compared to where they normally are. But Queendom do win, all 4 of them. And after the match, you thought you were going a show without it. But Cammy does take the microphone. She goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chase University." Now, that was very impressive, very impressive. I'm sure, all the young female wrestlers around the world will be dying to join in on that action. But let's talk about what's really important. Let's talk about where the best female wrestlers in the world really want to join, and that's last week. That was last week in the main event of SmackDown when Meiko and Aoi of Ichiban, they thought they had Queendom's number. They thought they were going to bring strong style Joshi wrestling to SmackDown over us. Okay. Meiko, you're definitely a legend of the game. Aoi's definitely one of the greatest in the game, and in any other life, she'd be a valued member of Queendom, but in this life, she made the wrong decision. Unlike our newest army soldier here in Queendom. Step forward. Yoko steps forward. She goes, "The woman that you just saw pick up the victory in this 8-woman tag team match. You've known her under a few names, but she is our latest soldier. Say hello to the Flying Flame. Say hello to Yoko Uehara." Now, Yoko, much like Utami Hayashishita, the heir apparent, is one of the fastest rising stars in all of Japanese women's wrestling. So, when you're a fast rising star in Japanese women's wrestling, you've got a choice. Do you want to join Meiko's terrible ruling, or do you want to join Queendom's ruling and dominate SmackDown? And I think there's only really one choice there, ladies and gentlemen. So, rumors of the Queendom's demise when we came up short at Payback were greatly exaggerated. Because Dakota, she still holds our championship, and trust me, you're not going to know when, you're not going to know where. But this doesn't end with Dakota Kai holding that championship. Let me tell you that for nothing. It ends with the championship back under the rule that it belongs. And as we stand here, united front, who knows who can stop the new and improved Queendom? Then head back, Kairi saying, she's watching it on a monitor backstage after last week's interaction with Cammy. When Raquel walks up, of all people, says, "Hey, you don't really buy into this crap, do you?" Kairi goes, "Queendom?" She goes, "Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't ever join that, would you?" She goes, "No. I hate them. They took my best friend from me. They took everything from me." And Raquel goes, "That's what I was hoping you were going to say. Because, I've been seeing you alone over here on SmackDown in recent weeks. And if you need an ally, you and I, together, we could cause damage to that. And I know 2 other girls who I think will be pretty in on the cause." Then Raquel walks off, and Kairi sort of looks confused as Raquel walks off, because, where the fuck did Raquel come from? Why is Raquel involved in this now? Who sent her? Damn it, Top Dollar suffered an injury. I don't think that's going to keep him out for too long, maybe a month or 2, or 3, or something like that. But it's not ideal, because I was doing a fun little story with him. But Carmelo Hayes' opponent is, of course, Top Dollar. I say, of course. It is Top Dollar. And yeah, because I guess he's a local talent to Savannah, Georgia. And yeah, Carmelo beats him, nothing but net in 352. 83 for Melo, 68 for Top Dollar. I guess the match sort of fell apart because Top Dollar got injured. But yeah, Carmelo Hayes does pick up the win here tonight. Unlike Andrade and Angel Garza, who lost their hyped up in action match. Yeah. Then after the match, Carmelo Hayes does take the mic. He goes, "That right there, it may be against, the biggest loser on this entire roster. But I prove to the world why I am, who I am, and what I am, and that's him. You see, I may have been beaten by Trick, and Trick may think he's better than me because, he won that little rivalry of ours. But SmackDown was where I found my greatest success. And trust me when I tell you this, This mellow ship don't rise till it gets back to the very top. So whoever wants to stand in my way, please, I dare you to take a swing.
They wanna talk, well, what they talking about? I see them.
Out comes Angelo Dawkins. We saw a video of him like 2 weeks ago. He was, looking to branch out on his own once again. He called himself the birth of greatness. He comes out here, new theme song, new look, and he gets into the ring. And he goes, "Sup, Carmelo?" And he goes, "Hey, Angelo, can I help you?" He goes, "You can, actually. You're the exact kind of guy that I need. You are former World Heavyweight Champion. You're former Mr. Money in the Bank. You did everything that Tez could do. And you did it better, dare I say." I'm coming ahead like, "Well, thank you, Angelo, You're not too bad yourself." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm trying to, rebound myself and tell the world why I am not just Montez Ford's tag team partner, why I will be my own man, why Angelo Dawkins will become champion once again. And I can't think of a better person to test my limits with than you." Oh, come on, he goes, "Well, let me get this straight. You're taking a swing at me." Dawkins goes, "I am." I kind of goes, "Well, you may be a lot of things, Dawkins. Talented, former Intercontinental Champion. But you aren't very bright. Just not to see what I did to Top Dollar here. That'll be you if you don't get to stepping." And Dawkins goes, "There's only one person I'm going to step, and that's in your face. And over you to get to the top." And Miller goes, "Check this guy out, Give him 1 week away, and he starts thinking he's him. But we know who really is him, don't we? It's me." And Angelo Dawkins decks him with a punch. And he goes to, hit the sky high, move. Big spine buster. Carmelo Hayes does slip away through the crowd. And Angelo Dawkins like, "Come back in the ring, fam. Come back in the ring." But Carmelo Hayes does, scurry away in fear of Angelo Dawkins. Next week, we've got some big matches announced for next week's episode of SmackDown, including the challenge that was laid out earlier on by MVP that has now been accepted by Daniel Bryan, and he will go one-on-one with the almighty Bobby Lashley next week. Plus, after what we just saw in the ring just now, the birth of greatness, Angelo Dawkins is going to go one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes, the former World Heavyweight Champion, on next week's show. Plus, Grayson Waller and Baron Corbin team up to take on Randy Orton and Ilya Dragunov in tag team action. And we have a new match confirmed for Clash at the Castle in Glasgow in just over 2 weeks' time. It will be Scotland's own Drew McIntyre challenging the World Heavyweight Champion Swerve Scott for the gold in Glasgow at the Hydro. 89 rated main event. That's a lot better than I thought it would be. But yeah, 16 minutes and 58. Tegan Nox fails to overcome Dakota Kai once again. Dakota does retain the Women's World Championship in 16:58 with a Scorpion Kick. She makes defense number 3 of the WWE Women's World title. 82 for Dakota, 78 for Tegan. And after the match, she's celebrating. Tegan is getting to her feet. Piper's there. Candice is there. They get the World Championship from ringside and the Tag Championships from ringside. Dakota, she picks up the World title. Tegan gets to her feet. And Dakota offers a handshake after Tegan Nox. Tegan, she sits there, she ponders it. She does shake hands with Dakota Kai to a big pop. And they do hug. So, it seems like issues between them have been resolved. Or so we think, because as, Tegan pulls away, she goes to, pick up the tag title. And, Dakota Kai does also, reach out to grab the tag title. And then Tegan sees it. She goes, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" She goes, "I was just, trying to help you get your title up." And she goes, No, you think that this is yours, because you won tonight. You think you're going to win a Clash at the Castle. You think this is already yours because you're arrogant. She goes, I was just trying to help you pick up your belt, you know, like, what are you doing? And Tegan just goes, you know what? Forget it. And she sort of storms out of the ring, shoulder checks Dakota Kai on her way out, takes the belt with her, and leaves. And Candice is sort of like glaring at Dakota, like, what the fuck did you do? And Dakota goes, I was just trying to help, like, the fuck. But yes, we had a brief moment of peace, but I guess it's destined that these two will never see eye to eye. 92 rated show. Yeah, apart from the weird snafu at the start, you know, everything else went perfectly fine on this show. But yeah, all that's more is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you on the other side for Velocity. Velocity kicks off with the number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, the man who'll wrestle Axiom tomorrow night, Rey Mysterio. He defeats Oro Mensah in 9 minutes and 5 seconds with the 619. Yeah, he gets a 71, a 68 for Oro, and a 73 for the match. And yeah, that's not too shabby at all. But Rey, yeah, getting a nice win ahead of tomorrow night's title match, because I don't think he's gotten one since he got the title opportunity. But yeah, he does win here tonight. They get 70 rated, just a regular tag match. I don't see a regular tag match on Velocity every day. It's normally always a singles match or a trios match. Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain of the Grand Jury defeat the team of Araya Connors and Warren Seaver. Yeah, Emerson Frost pins Warren Seaver with a triple C in 13-19. 79 for Emerson Frost, 71 for Ken Cobain, 53 for Warren Seaver, and a 31 for Uriah Connors. So yeah, these two I picked because they're both members of the No Quarter Catch crew. I went through like my developmental and started adding a bunch of factions. I think I've said this before. Yeah, one of them was I made the No Quarter Catch crew. Charlie Dempsey's back down there because the Legal Coalition, you know, sort of folded, and I had nothing for him on main roster rather than just put him straight back into the Dragon's Dojo. So yeah, he's down in NXT. He's formed the No Quarter Catch crew with Tavion Heights, like real life. Obviously can't have Damon Kemp and Mars Bourne in it because they're doing other things. They're actually feuding with each other now on SmackDown, technically. So the other two members are Uriah Connors and Warren Seaver, picked because, you know, Uriah Connors is Finley's son and Charlie Dempsey is Regal's son. And then Warren Seaver was picked because he's in the Blackpool Combat Club. So yeah, that's the No Quarter Catch crew in this save. It's Charlie Dempsey, Tavion Heights, and these two. So that's why these two teamed up here, basically. We then get a quick talking segment called The Cockpit with Danger Zone. It's an interview that Funaki did. He went to a local airfield and he sat with Charlie Ryland in his cockpit of his plane. You know, just to get a rundown on Danger Zone. You know, we know all about him just by seeing him. You know, he's a pilot. He likes Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone, all that. But why Velocity? Why is he coming for the Cruiserweight Championship? He goes, because when you're born a life in the air like I am, you know, a championship that's all about speed and precision and all of that stuff, it feels tailor-made for a guy like me. Which is why, Funaki, it's a good job I brought you here for this interview, and why RJ brought you here for this interview, because we have a very speedy-based announcement for Velocity, which we're hoping to announce very, very soon. It involves myself, it involves a lot of other high-flying, fast individuals on this brand. Stay tuned. So yeah, Charlie Ryland, the fighter pilot, has got a very speedy announcement set for Velocity. You know, who knows what that could be. Yeah, Jorge Santana and Lince Dorado have a singles match. Just two names I picked because I thought, you know, they could both do the match. And Jorge does beat Lince 13-26 by submission. 72 for Jorge, 61 for Lince. Oh my god, another family death. Jesus Christ, you know, what the fuck's happening to the families in this game? But for some reason, this one didn't, I guess because it's a tag match, and, you know, once news that Angelico's family member had passed had hit the ring, he could just tag out and let Joaquin do all the work. Okay, that does make sense. But Trick couldn't do that. Trick had to lose then and there, you see. But yeah, Angelico and Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde defeat Terminal Velocity and Evan Bourne, with Joaquin Wilde pinning Evan Bourne with a Bible Black. 69 for Joaquin, 70 for Angelico, 60 for Cruz, 64 for Evan, 57 for Toby Marley, 69 for Ty Marley. which now sets up next week. We'll have a trio championship match on Velocity. It will be Angelico teaming with these two. I need a team name for just these two. Like, I can't think of a name of just Cruiser and Wacky and Wild. Obviously, they were Legado, but that was a faction name. Same with the LWO. I don't have an actual just duo name for them, so I'll come up with one. But yeah, these three will face Gresham, Lorcan, and Rios next week for the trio championships. And yes, they will be able to work because the family death only takes you out of action for 3 days. So I learned with Trick. But yeah, that ends Velocity. Thank you, Michael Hayes. I was hoping it was going to say, so-and-so sustained heat because they were the one who caused him to have a family death. But no, yeah, that's it. That's it with Velocity. You know, some things brewing. There's a speedy announcement set for either next week or the week after or sometime soon. We don't know when he said. But yes, so yeah, that ends the show. Do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for ECW One Night Stand, the first ECW pay-per-view since WrestleMania, and the first pay-per-view of the Russo era, bro. See you then.